What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and how the devil we all doing? I hope you are kicking ass and taking names coming into this brand new year of 2026. I hope you had a great holiday period, and welcome to the new year. We're going to start this off with just a little bit of GAC review, because the recent changes and mess-ups that happened at the end of last year has kind of resulted in a really funky position for everybody to be in terms of PvP in 2026, at least at the first start, because of the way that the datacrons were handled when they dusted them and they gave us all basically infinite reroll mats and an infinite amount of currency to reroll it with, more or less. Kyber 1 has basically become a swamp of everybody's got like 15 to 30 perfect datacrons. It's causing some weird occasions in GAC. So let's do a catch-up on my last round of GAC, the first one of 2026. A quick comparison before we begin, of course. It is myself on the left here against Mini Mojo number 2. He was my opponent for round 1. This is using the Hotbots comparison tool. If you've never used it before, hop into my Discord, ask me how to use it. It's really quick and easy. Okay, so I'm in a slightly bigger guild. We've got a bit of a GP advantage, about 600,000 GP. Nothing too great, to be honest, at this end of the game. Looks like I have a big advantage in terms of Zetas and Omnis, although in terms of GAC, I've only got a 2 Omicron advantage there, because a lot of my Omnis are actually TW ones. My mod game is definitely a lot stronger. I've got quite a significant amount more 25 plus speed mods over here compared to him, 162 to 64. We've got nearly 100 more in that respect. He does have more in the 20 to 24 range, about 30 more, but that's probably because mine are up here on the higher range. I also have about the same amount more of the 20 pluses than him. Overall, I definitely have the mod advantage, I would say, on pretty much every front. Relic analysis, yep. Unsurprisingly here, with 600k more GP, I do have a significant relic advantage. We've got about 300 more, or 250-ish more relic levels than him. 4 in the R10 bracket, which is really, really nice compared to his 1. Nothing too surprising there. And then this is where we get into the nuttiness that I was talking about at the start. Now, I've got 65 level 9 datacrons at the moment, and I've done a total reroll of 2,664, which is obnoxiously high, but because we can reroll this latest set essentially for 1 credit, and we've got infinite number of reroll mats, you can just spend as much time as you want trying to perfect those datacrons and have absolutely ridiculous nutty ones. He obviously hasn't spent as much time trying to do that with only 790 rerolls, but that's still, like, under normal circumstances, 790 rerolls is ridiculous. So I won't bother checking out the meta units, because at this stage of the game, pretty much everybody has pretty much everything. Let's go check out the first battle. So with these new datacrons, I wanted to test out to see, does Maz have some viability trying to take down Lord Vader again? We went in with a pretty nutty cron ourselves over here. You can see it's a light side bulk with the healer level 6, the big wordy level 6, and 111% additional health. So it's a lot of survivability here. The full team is all R9 that I'm using. Maz with triple Omni, Smee, Quirgold, Kix, and Ithano. Now, that all sounds absolutely phenomenal, right? Like, the stats and everything like that on this are really, really good. But let's not forget, his Lord Vader as well is completely decked out, and it's got a perfect datacron as well. An attacker-cron, all relic 9s. Of course, he does have the Omni on Scorch, I want to say, is the unit. Apparently, I decided to check through my stats. Yeah, the Omni on Scorch over there. I don't know if I actually click on his datacron. Looks like no. So away we go. We take in this team. I just want to see, is there viability for this team? Can we actually beat Lord Vader's again? And honestly, after 1 battle, it's hard to say. But on the level 3 for his team, he does have the 2% max health damage whenever he inflicts debuffs, and that does cause a significant amount of damage to us. I cleanse off the debuffs, and I hope to get some good damage in over here. It doesn't really do a whole lot, unfortunately. I was hoping for a little bit more oomph there. Just put in a little bit more damage. You can see we do next to nothing against that Scorch. Unable to retarget. I throw out some grenades, hoping for some damage, and it just doesn't feel like it's ticking along just yet. We got 1 tap there for 120 or 200,000 essentially damage, insta-killing Ithano, which is never good. But oftentimes with a Maz team, it just takes a little time to get rolling. Unfortunately, Appa with that level 3, when he does that AoE, just does ridiculous damage. So this kind of just kind of fell on its arse immediately. We didn't really get the ball rolling at all on this one. So I'm probably not going to try this again. Probably not going to try this one again. It was fun to test to see if it could happen. Our opponent was unable to full clear, so we knew we had a big amount of advantage. Next up, I decided to see, okay, fine. So Maz, not really working for me today. Let's see if we can take one of the JML tank crons to do some good work. JML in 5v5 versus Lord Vader is usually quite reliable if you've got a Datacron that's got a significant amount of protection. If you've got a Datacron as well that can give you 25% extra turn meter or something like that, that usually really helps. So this is the cron that I go in with. It's 25% turn meter. I like the 25% turn meter on on JML just to let him get out the gate faster. I find it's better than the 15% health and protection. That bulk that you get on the level 3 doesn't actually contribute to inherited teachings damage. So I'd actually rather have the turn meter so I can go before the enemy team. I've just loaded it up with 110% protection on an R9 JML. Does mean he's got a lot of protection, and of course the tank wordy level 6 over here. Now I actually feel like the attacker cron is actually a better one to use rather than a tank one on JML. It feels like it has more use, feels like you actually output more damage as well, just specifically for taking on Lord Vader. But anyway, let's see how this one goes. And away we go. So we're obviously going to start off with Efflux. We're hoping to get ability blocks and we're gaining that turn meter. I'm just immediately going to mark down Disguised Clone Trooper because I desperately want to defeat him before he can do anything. Get the AoE stuns out, and then we're just going to swap over to, I think we go back to, is it Jedi Knight Revan, I want to say? Looks like we went back to Luke. So we're looking to get our first inherited teachings. Boom, 140,000 true damage, which is quite significant if you ask me. Quite significant amounts of damage there. Then what I probably should have done, I wanted to see if I could take out Apo here with another call to assist. We triggered the Savior, I think, straight away, which is kind of nifty. So we'll go in again against him, I think. Just pass it round. No, it looks like I'm having a little bit of confusion here as to what to do. I definitely think I should just be calling to assist here. So I'm hoping that's what I did do. I think I'm trying to and ah between should I be gaining turn meter on someone else. We nearly take out the Apo there. We call the assist, get the extra turn. So far, it's looking really strong. We've taken out Disguised Clone Trooper. We've taken out Apo before they've even done anything. Art Vandalay over there coming in with a resub. But of course, that true damage coming out of Lord Vader, that bonus damage he does when he does debuffs on us is so strong. As well as the fact that this guy's got like 400% armor penetration as well. So he does do a significant amount of damage. So I really should have changed targets here to probably go after CX2 rather than anything else. Our Revan over there is looking very peaky, so I swap over to Luke in the hopes of getting some damage out. I've accidentally used the coin here instead of using a basic first. That was a bit of a mistake as well. And we just lose Revan straight away. So big loss there. No Revan, no Savior. He then one-taps Cal Kestis as well because we didn't have a Savior mechanic available to us. And now it feels like the tables have officially turned. I'm trying to see if I can just get rid of Scorch, as, you know, that would get rid of the Omni for a cleanup or anything like that. Hoping to get the damage done. We nearly finish him off there. Lord Vader gets a little bit of a heal action in as well. I think I tried to increase his cooldowns, but I don't think that was probably the smartest thing I could have done. Anyway, trying to make sure that we finish off over here. I probably should have just used the inherited teachings on JML Day to get the kill on Scorch, but that's the way it is. So, taking out Scorch, taking out Apo, taking out CX2. We lose Hermit Yoda because Lord Vader is ramping a bunch of mastery every time he does that. Loads of damage output coming out of him as well. I don't like my odds here. I go for the stun to try and control that CX2, and that Lord Vader is just doing so much damage to us now. It's like he hits very, very hard with all this armor penetration and the fact that he's ramped up mastery, of course. So I had a look to see if I could take out that CX2. Unfortunately, he is an invasion mastery character. He did get some dodge actions. We lost our Luke, and I'm like, and then another dodge. I'm like, okay, at least we got it down to a cleanup. And this is what these Datacrons are doing. They are, like, you might think, oh, we've got some great perfect Datacrons. So does the enemy, and it changes matchups quite significantly. So I go in for Bo-Katan Mandalore here to hope that we can just clear out Lord Vader. Nothing too crazy here. Just try to get myself a decent Datacron to go with this one. I think I go for the Healercron because IG-12 and Grogu, sorry, is of course a healer. So we've got one over here with crit damage and armor penetration. Crit damage won't matter so much against Lord Vader, but the armor penetration always does. So what we're really hoping to do here is take out that CX2 at the very least. Use that second special from IG to try and bring out the CX2, but unfortunately I think he actually goes before us. So he's just stealths again. I'm like, God damn it, CX2. We get him out of stealth anyway. And just rip into the CX2, take him out. He still had a load of dodges there, did you see? I feel like he's getting some additional boost to his evasion. Anyway, we go into poop stance with Bam over here, getting him ready to drop the whistling birds all over Lord Vader's face, because that's what we like to do. You can also take in Armorer here instead of OG Bow, but I kind of like having OG Bow. And we just tear into him then with the whistling birds. Not too bad. Certainly not something that I really want to be doing as my counter to Lord Vader, though. So next up, Pirate King Hondo. He's not rocking a Hondo variant, but he's got a full R9 squad with a dedicated Silvocron. Obviously, those don't have perfect stats. I'm using Supreme Leader Kylo Ren with the Alphabeti Spaghetti Pilot Cron. I don't want to take any chances on dropping a battle on Pirate King Hondo, so I just go in with the safest team that I know, which is, of course, Slacker, featuring the First Order Special Fighter TIE Fighter, Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot. That's such a mouthful, guys. I use this Cron because it's super safe. We do a lot of control on the enemy team with stuns. They can actually make crew pretty much invincible if they strip away enough turn meter from the team. You're almost guaranteed to win this match as long as you play it right. Almost guaranteed, not completely guaranteed, of course. We lose our Hux there before he really gets to do anything. He even had his cooldowns increased, so we couldn't really do the turn meter swap with Slacker. That would have given us a real big bonus at the start. Anyway, all I do here, usually what I try to do here anyway, is try to target down units that are stunned and use the swipe from Kylo, because that is going to give us twice the normal amount of mastery increase, which is obviously really, really handy. We lose our crew, unfortunately. Like I said, sometimes you can get that to be an invincible crew with like millions of hit points. But we have still managed to get into our first ult. Once we're in this ult stage, we are completely safe at this point because they can't kill Slacker and they can't kill the TIE Fighter Pilot thanks to the Datacron. So I'm just using this to basically siphon as much mastery as I possibly can against stunned units for the double siphon mastery and build up enough ult charge to go into another ult as soon as I'm out of this one, basically. It's pretty straightforward in technique. The First Order Special Forces TIE Fighter Pilot over there just kind of tanks it like a boss. Hondo just keeps laughing at you, and they are, of course, obnoxiously fast as well, so they're going to take a lot of turns. But c'est la vie, c'est la vie. I didn't even take in Darkside Vision Ray for this. I have her at Relic 8, I want to say, in the Triple Omicron, but you don't even really need her. So if you wanted, you could probably form a different team with her under like a crew lead, and you could throw in First Order Stormtrooper instead of crew for this team, but it's not particularly necessary. As you can see, every time that they're hitting our TIE Fighter Pilot, they are getting stunned, or when they're using ability whilst targeting the TIE Fighter Pilot, they are getting stunned, so it's giving us a lot of control of the enemy team. Means Slacker can get a lot of additional mastery gains, which is nice, obviously. It's nice. I think we need to have advantage when they target us for us to get the stun, but yeah. You can see Slacker is definitely ramping good damage at the moment because he's nearly one-shotting these guys. They've got a lot of recovery on this team. But there we go. We do one swipe and take out the entire team pretty much. Just Bane and Pirate King Hondo left. There's not really much point in focusing down anybody apart from Bane right now. We could go after Hondo. Excuse me, I'm very boring. But I just want to get rid of Bane because he's a pain. Bane is a pain. You could also stun him at that point. That would help you build up siphon stacks so that when you use your swipe, you're going to be absorbing more mastery. At the moment, we've literally only got 40 stacks of siphon, which is very, very small. Normally, if you're using something like Darkside Vision Ray, you've actually gained more base siphon because of her abilities triggering additional siphon gains, which means you actually generate siphon faster. This is where it also gets a little bit fun versus a solo PK Hondo, because his first special will raise his mastery, and his mastery includes evasion, so he will become very, very dodgy, which is frustrating, I guess, at the best of times, which is why he's dodging quite a few attacks. Fortunately for us, he's not dodging every attack, and our first special there, the little poke, that cannot miss. So our first battle where we actually cleared up in one. So 3 battles dropped there. Next up, we are facing off against a Rey team with the Healercron under Barriss with Cal and GK and Fulcrum. I'm going in, I'm going in over here with a Sia Malicos team. I'm using Starkiller. Probably should not take in Fulcrum here and probably take in someone like Maul potentially. You know, perhaps that would have been a better shout. So I'm just looking for a good attacker-cron over here. We've got one here with 200% armor pen, 200 and 100% crit damage. All I wanted to do was make sure that we kind of like take out Cal. Try not to kill Barriss, because if Barriss dies with her level 9, she's going to pass 100% offense to the team. And of course, this Datacron has got great stats on it as well. So fun times and a little bit spicy. And away we go. So Rey gets her first lifeblood out of the way. And all I'm going to have a look to do here is just try to get Rey into damage immunity, which we do immediately. And she straight targets Seer, practically kills the Seer. And I'm like, oh dear, that's dangerous. And this is where the problem comes. Boom, boom, boom. Like, ow. I wasn't expecting that Rox to basically one-tap the enemy Barriss there. I know she'd lost her protection, but this was like a full health cron on his Datacron, and let's just see now. Yeah, 407,000 on that AoE, just one-tapping her. Unfortunately, none of the other people took as much damage. I think we only did 200k here, so I'm like, oh gosh, Barriss has died. She can't revive, obviously, but she's just passed 100% offense to the whole team. Ben comes in, does his first special, gets rid of the damage immunity. Rey whirlwinds, kills Malicos, and I'm like, okay, well, we're in danger now. We have absolutely no way to win this battle. So we're doing great damage, but we've lost half our team already. And I'm like, well, she's an ult now. There's no way we survive this ult. It was fun, I guess. I think we definitely could have won this. I would have to have not killed that Barriss with that Rox, played it a little bit safer. But hey, we took out the Barriss, so there's now no longer a level 9 cron for that Barriss. It's just going to be a case of let's go into cleanup mode. What we do find though is that she had like 140,000 health, 140,000 health, but we did 400,000 with our rocks, so it's a little bit scary. So we're just going to clear up, and I'm like, let's try and use Balen. Now with Balen, I don't have Marok on the team because Marok was on defense for my Reva. Those of you who don't know, you can use Marok to stop Phoenix countering Reva Inquisitors, right? So I thought I'd give this a try. Balen is usually quite a safe counter versus Rey. Usually a pretty good counter, and he's lost Barriss now, so he's lost a big chunk of the power in that team. I was like, yeah, sure, let's go for it. Let's see how this works. So I just, once again, looking for a nice attacker cron over here to get the advantage out of Shin, who does great damage, and we're using Sign of Django Boba to try and do additional damage. And away we go. So here we are. We just need to deal with people. Obviously that Ben just immediately nearly one taps dash before I do anything. And then he does his AoE. I want to see how much damage did he actually do with that, because that's insane. That is insane levels of damage. Let's see what he does. What was that, 70k true damage? Unfortunately, my keyboard is being a little bit uncooperative. Normally you can hit spacebar and it will pause videos, but my keyboard for some reason is double tapping when I hit space. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. 80k true damage attacking under protection, obviously, but also an extra 36,000 there. So it's like, okay, so we just ate 100k plus straight under. 330% armor penetration and extra crit damage. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I don't get to have a turn. I guess I don't get to have a turn there. That's not ideal. I was like, hopefully we might be able to take out an extra unit here. But unfortunately, no such luck. That GK passing that crit hit immunity to the enemy team is also very, very frustrating. But hey-ho, what can you do? So there we go. Rey is into damage immunity, but it doesn't really do us any favors because that Ben is just out here destroying lives. Destroying lives. So I'm going to 2x speed it for now. We decide now to take in Bane with a Darth Vader cron versus GLAT. This is a full GLAT team over here. Our Bane has got 100% health on this cron, and he obviously does damage based on his max health with his first special, I believe. So the idea was let's try and because Vader can't actually die as long as he has a Sith ally alive. Oh well, any ally alive. I figured this could be a good way to test the power of this Datacron versus GLAT. Now, GLAT normally isn't too much of an issue. This one, however, has got like a max health cron and has got the tank revive cron and all this sort of good business. So this battle takes a long time to get going. They do like to focus exclusively on our Vader because he's got low health and that's often gives you a high priority target. But of course, they can't kill him as long as Bane is alive. And they're just not attacking Bane. So I just go full auto here because I figured we're going to be in for a long haul here. I was pretty confident that Bane will ramp up enough max health over time to deal enough damage to just destroy the entire field. I was doing some manual targeting over here to make sure that I can target priority units. There we go. We did like 500k damage there to that Sabine. Took her out. The problem lied in General Syndulla. For some reason, she basically just became unkillable. Even when we were doing our giant sucky suck, even when we were doing our AoE, she just wasn't taking enough damage. And I know she gets deflective ward and stuff like that, so she only takes 1 damage for the next hit. But even then, it's like, I don't understand why we are just not doing enough damage here. We're not doing any significant levels of damage to her, despite the fact that we've got ridiculous levels of max health, and we keep ramping. Every time we do that second special, we are siphoning their max health, their targeted max health. Like, we've got 46 stacks of siphon. We are siphoning off 46% of General Syndulla's max health, supposedly increasing our damage, and still we just are not dealing any damage to her. I was like, how are we not hurting her? I know half the attacks are just doing the 1 damage thanks to deflective ward, and occasionally she does have evasion. But even that, it's like, that was like 60k. And we've siphoned off a whole bunch of her max health, but it's just not seemingly doing enough. So I was very disappointed with the performance of this. Very disappointed. I was hoping to do much better than this. I was hoping that this would be able to clear boards. But no, alas, we only took out Hu Yang and Sabine. 96% health, and they did have the bulk on the level 3. So we go in now, and I choose not to mess around. I'm like, I'll go in with C, Armorer, Watt, we'll take in Thrawn, we'll take in Geobrood Alpha, and we'll take in a good attacker cron for C to try and make sure that we definitely killed this team. So, because I'm just like, I don't want to be dropping any more battles on these teams. It does still have Ezra, so it is a little bit concerning. We get the tank tech over on C. He does, of course, get fractured, which is always fun. And then, unfortunately, I believe they managed to hit ult fast enough. Yeah, we've got a locked ability block on our armorer, so we never managed to get the triple stacks of Beskar, I believe, on our RC, because ability blocks were in play, and by the time we got rid of that ability block, I believe Ahsoka just ults, and that of course pushes back all your cooldowns to max, so we were never able to use Beskar ingots, which was very frustrating indeed. I was like, come on, man. Either way, we linked Ezra and we linked General Syndulla because I want to take away their max protection. I want to be able to do some good damage to them. I don't ult straight away. And the reason I don't ult straight away is because I want to build the mastery on C before we go into ult. In case you don't know, when C ults, he doubles his current mastery, right? So the longer you spend outside of ult, letting the enemies take turn whilst they have linked, for example, the stronger he'll be after he ults. So I don't leave it too long because I'm like, I could well just time out here. But I left it longer than normal. So even though we can't insta-kill them, per se, because they're immune to insta-kills, we can still do good damage with that ult. So I think we did like 300,000. And then it just became a case of, let's see, can we tickle Ahsoka to death? And the answer is no. No, we can't tickle her to death. She's just got way too much health and protection, way too much bulk. Can't do anything to her, unfortunately. So we spend the remaining minute and a half just on full auto. I think eventually we do get rid of her bonus protection and start whittling down her protection. But by that point, it's too late. It's too little too late. So we had some fun doing it, and we got rid of the important units and left just a GLAT alive at the end. All the same, these Datacrons are just doing crazy, crazy things. It goes to show just the power of like perfect rolled Datacrons are. Even if you've got your own perfect ones, defensively speaking, you can do crazy stuff. As you can see, we finally chew through all that bonus protection and start hitting her actual protection, but she's still generating additional bonus protection, and she still has a whole host of health, and of course, she will be able to revive, which is just kind of a pain. There we go, we timed out in the end, but it's just a solo Ahsoka now, so I'm like, alright, fine, we're going to go with Maul Mandos. I just want to try and clear out this GLAT. So find something that's decent, Attack-a-Cron, crit damage and all this sort of business. Doesn't really help for the Maul team, but I'm just like, I just need to defeat her. So we get all the assists. The assists do crazy good damage over here, just absolutely shredding her apart. I think I'll slow down the playback speed now. So as you can see, we very nearly defeated her there with that first round, but don't forget she does have that tank revive cron, so she will be able to revive. So I'm just trying to build back up with Maul because I'm a little bit concerned that if I only do the 2 attacks, that I won't deal enough damage to take her out. So I'm going to try and build back up to 5 stacks of Seething Rage because, as you can see, she's super tanky, super survivable, and I don't want to have to time out again. Fortunately, she doesn't seem to be doing enough damage to our team to actually take us out completely. So, is what it is, you know. We're able to essentially bounce between the taunts, and then when we get to our Seething Rage, we recover enough protection, essentially, to counteract the damage that she's done. But it is still a timer. As you can see, we've nearly gone 2 minutes into this battle now. Nearly 2 minutes into the battle, and we still haven't defeated her. So, and it's just a solo Ahsoka Tano. It's just crazy. It's crazy, man. So, I built back up to 5 stacks of Seething Rage, hoping to just take out this Ahsoka once and for all. So, come on. Get the hits in. We just need that one more turn with Maul. As soon as we get to Maul now, it should be game over for Ahsoka. So we do crazy good damage. I won't pretend like we don't, but we still need pretty much every hit there. Pretty much every hit. So just ready to clear through here to get to the back wall now, see what's waiting for us. I decide, let's not take any more risks. That Ben Solo is an actual monster. He is scary, so we need to use something big here. So I think we take in JMK Cat, because I'm just like, I'm pretty confident I can time this out correctly. I can get us to clear through. I was having a look to find my my mace there. So we take in Padme, we take in Snips, and I think I just taken an Attack-a-Cron over here. I don't think I take a Tank-Cron. Yeah, Attack-a-Crons are just widely quite useful. 190% armor pen and 100% crit damage. I like to go for that split of armor penetration and crit damage. I feel like it gives you the best of both worlds. So I don't immediately do the damage immunity on Cat. I instead try to go for a faster ult, so I use the first special over here. We were a little bit concerned about Ben, but because of our bonus protection, he can't actually crit us, which is great. I then reset. We do, of course, need to make sure that we let we let people take their turns so that they are no longer immune to being instant defeated. Got rid of Cal Kestis there, no problems. I think we put Kenobi. Oh, well, I was going to say put him into DI, but we actually did enough damage there to take him out. No point me yeeting Ben at this point because I won't be able to kill him because Rey wasn't below that health threshold. We've got her nice and low now. Funny thing is, if we yeet Ben and hit poke Rey, she would actually die. The only reason, in fact, I think if I'd have used it there, Padme would have gone, and I would have been able to actually defeat both of them. But there we go, I made a mistake. I should have just checked the turn order. Like I do here, I do this, and of course he comes back because JMK is there, and then we take care of Rey, and that's kind of it. I should probably just use JMK Cat versus Rey in general. Back wall Revelio then, we've still got Jabba the Hutt with a support Cron, we've still got Gas, and Gas is an actual nightmare now, and Jedi Master Mace Windu. So some strong teams on the back. We've got Reva up here in the north wall, but because he doesn't have Marok on this team, I wanted to use Phoenix here. Now, if you're using Phoenix versus Reva, provided they don't have Marok, you need to have a pre-taunting tank. L3 is, my opinion, the best one. So I go in with the Tank Revive Cron. In case they get rid of L3, I'm like, well, let's have her come back. Let's have her come back. So I thought it was a pretty safe option. They insta-kill her, 200k damage, and I'm like, oh, good job. Good job I had a Tank Revive Cron. Unfortunately, I used our second special there and we missed a daze. We missed a daze, so we couldn't act. We missed 2 dazes, in fact. 8th brother and 5th brother both resisted the daze, which means we couldn't reduce their turn meter, so they're gaining bonus turn meter and pretty much at a similar rate to us, which is really scary. And then second time round, 5th brother resisted the daze again, so we resisted it twice. We finally got the days on everybody. Fifth brother still took a turn, and so did eighth brother, because they built up so much turn meter beforehand. So it was really scary for a minute there, really touch and go. We got pretty bad RNG there. However, we have killed Reva once or twice already, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident now that we'll be able to do something. Just focus in on her. You could probably put it on auto, but I like to manually control this one. I like to always be calling in Chopper to assist, because Chopper is going to provide us with the opportunity to reduce cooldowns on our team. I always want to be doing that to make sure that Captain Rex has always got his AoE available. He's got like 400% armor penetration there. I do think that if he'd have gone for a split of armor pen and crit damage, we probably would have lost units when the AoEs came in earlier. So focus down over there on fifth brother, take him out. Seventh sister is just doing this thing where she refuses to die. She's just like, oh, okay, even if you're directly focusing me, I'm just going to keep on recovering all of my health and protection. So I decided I'll come back to her, take care of eighth brother, take care of fifth brother, and work on her at the end. I do also have, on the level 3 of this Datacron, if I've got 2 buffs or more, I gain additional offense. So over time of this battle, I will be increasing my damage output, even if I'm not dealing enough damage. As you can see, it's taking ages for me to get through them here. Taking ages for me to try and get through them, because she's just recovering more than the damage I'm putting out. Eventually, we get to that point where we've probably increased our offense sufficiently that we do more damage to her. But look at her. She's just surviving and surviving and surviving and surviving. And thankfully, we eventually get through. We're like, oh, we've hit that point where we deal more damage than we take. So then she heals. Eventually got through there. I thought that was a pretty high value counter. Getting rid of Reva team using Phoenix is always good. Let's see what we do next. Next up, we decide to take on Queen Amidala. I decide to throw in Darkside Vision Ray instead of Scion. My Scion is only R3, and I don't have another use for Darkside Vision Ray. Scion would probably be a better choice, but I didn't think it mattered too much. So I went in with the Nihilus Cron on this one, which is the Captain Rex FDC, because it gives some good bonuses to Nihilus. I thought, why not? Let's try and actually do some good work here. They do have a lot of damage on this team, and they do have cam. Fortunately, we were able to get an early kill on Master Qui-Gon Jinn, but look at the damage output, man. They're doing really big numbers of damage. Big numbers of damage. We're lucky that our Savage there survived. So I decided to focus down Padawan Obi-Wan. Definitely isolate Padme. You really want to be able to do that. And I decided then I'm just going to take her out. I'm going to yeet her out. I don't want to risk leaving her alive. Then we took out Padawan Obi-Wan, and Ki-Adi-Mundi was next. So not the cleanest banners-wise, but still a useful counter to have. I was a little bit nervous going into this one because I don't have boatloads of relics, and there was just so much damage on this enemy team that I was concerned it was going to cause us some big issues. Fortunately, not too bad in the end. Able to get rid of people. And Kelleran Beck is just annoying. With all of his foresight, every turn he's gaining foresight. It's just irritating, do you know what I mean? Anyway, taking care of Kelleran Beck, no problems there. So we go against Saw now, and I've tried to take in a support Cron, like health-based one for GG to see if we can do some good damage over here. We get some good initial damage out on that Rebel Trooper, but then things go to hell in a handbasket pretty quick. I probably should have taken in B2. Probably should have taken in BT so that I could actually get rid of all of this, all of these buffs out here. And I think Kyle Katarn is about to ruin some of my lives right now. But I gave this a try. GG was doing good damage, but unfortunately their recovery is really huge. As you can see, they went down from basically dead to completely healed in one turn. I was like, oh. Fortunately, GG does great damage. So I was able to do some good damage, took out some of the units. Just Cara Dune, Kyle Katarn, and Saw left over here. Bonus turns from GG coming in clutch over here, and we take out Kyle just about take out Kyle. Cara Dune left on the field. I tried to raise up my max health so that I deal more damage with GG, but unfortunately, not enough left in the tank for GG. So another drop battle there. I decide to clean it up with Wampa. I'm like, come on, man. I've got an R10 Wampa with the Omicron. Sure, the Wampa Cron is no more, but surely I must be able to do something against just a two-man team of Saw Gerrera and Cara Dune. And yeah, we do. We immediately slap her down. Then we get stunned thanks to Saw's explosives going off. I'm not sure how that really worked out, but it did. It did. I'm sure there's a good reason for it. And then it's just mano a mano with Saw. He doesn't really stand a chance against Wampa, though. So another dropped battle, but we have got through to ships. Now, you guys know me. I always go full send on ships. I didn't check here. The enemy's Leviathan is Relic 10. Mine is as well. But I didn't check. I just assumed his was Relic 9. I was like, oh, it's fine. I'm going to win this one. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so lucky that I actually had the first turn. Because this could have been such a slog if it didn't. I mean, it could have been awful. It might have been sort of match ending right there. Fortunately, we won the coin flip at the start, which is really nice. After that, we just do what a normal matchup is. Get our scimitar out as quickly as possible for the bonus speed. That bonus speed should ensure that we pull away in terms of turn meter. He destroys our hangers, which is absolutely fine, because that means he's not called in his own scimitar, which is giving me a longer time with more speed. So I've got a bigger benefit, okay? Basically, he's got no chance of catching up to me now in terms of ult race. Then he brings in his scimitar, it gets destroyed, but the speed bonus remains. He still has that speed bonus to his capital ship. But at this point, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter because I've already won. I'm already ahead of him in TM. He's not going to be able to catch up to me now. So we call in our Mark 6 interceptor. We get rid of the bomber. And then it's just focus down the remaining units. I like to focus on the dagger first because it keeps on getting bonus turns and it keeps on, cleansing their team and stuff like that. It's just a really irritating thing to do in general. We, of course, win the ult race because what's he going to do? It's too slow, unfortunately, at this point. And then I just hit on auto because you can't lose at this point. Ships are not obviously the most entertaining game mode in the world, but if you invest in them, they do tend to pay off. So 73 there, Leviathan Mirror, could have been really scary. He's just got Malevolence and Home 1, and because I've got Profundity and Executor, I'm not worried. So we take in the Profundity here against the Home 1. It's one of the few fleets that deal with it particularly well, because they can't really gain those turn meter advantages, thanks to me having Profundity. Going with the starting lineup, just with the Rogue One as my only reinforcement. Mine is only 6 stars at the moment. I'm working on it. I think I'm like 50 out of 100, something like that. All in on Biggs as he's taunting. We get some really good assists there. So I decide to do an AoE to take care of Biggs, get rid of some of that foresight, call in our Outrider. I always like to go for Raven's Claw first. And he has a really weird reinforcement order. I don't know why the Ghost is his first reinforcement. It's very peculiar. You don't normally see Ghost as the reinforcement. Not where I say first reinforcement. It's not first. Obviously, the B-wing is the first, but the first, the second first. Some people call it the second. Those they're just non-believers. Anyway, unfortunately, not able to get rid of that Raven's Claw as quickly as I'd like because he's been stealthed the whole time. I'm like, dang nabbit. But of course, we are definitely going to win this particular match. He can't really do anything. He's got no ships left. He's got just the U-wings in the field right now. Gets another good round of assists. We've hit ultimate. I might as well ult. There's no reason for me not to ult. It will guarantee me, of course, the full heal. So 76 banners there on his Home 1. And then we've just got a Malevolence over here. Malevolence with Vulture Droid. He has, as you can see, spoilers, dropped 6 battles on gas and eventually cleared through. All right. Okay. So Executor. I don't know why I was looking at Galactic Republic there. I think I was thinking, oh, maybe I could just use Negotiator, but my Negotiator's on defense. So here we go, triple attacker. I just decide, let's just go full send. As much damage as possible, get rid of a unit before it can take a turn, and that should give us enough of an advantage that we can just sail through for the rest of it. Next up, we focus down on the Hyena Bomber, because obviously the Hyena Bomber is kind of the engine for this team. I like to get rid of Sunfac at the start just to make sure he can't stun people and stuff like that. Sunfac's really irritating like that. And then I focus on the Hyena Bomber. Thankfully, we've got plenty of damage output here to deal with him. He goes ahead, curls in the Spy, marks down Xanadu Blood, so I give it the full heal and the cleanse. And then we just go for the full assists over here on that Spy, take care of him, assist over there onto the Vulture Droid, and that is fleet done. 74. So we did good work on fleet. We are currently 75 banners behind, and he's killed one more team than us. So he has been more efficient than us. We've dropped plenty of battles, but I'm quite hopeful that we win it anyway. So I decide to use Queen Amidala to take down his Jabba team. I go for a big chonky Attackacron, 80% crit damage, 76 1% health is not the one I use because I don't want those thermals to blow me up. Armor penetration and protection with turn meter is probably much better because armor penetration isn't going to increase the damage on his thermal detonators, I don't think, and protection is going to lower the amount of damage that we get comparatively from thermal detonators. So I'm going in with Echo and Shakti over here. I look to do the cleanse because I don't want blinds and tenacity down and all that nonsense on my team, I think. Okay, no, I don't. Maybe I'm just foolish. So I use the dispel from Echo and then the increased damage just wipe. I mean, come on, man. Like Padawan Obi-Wan over here just going boom. Like clearing like half of the team basically with the first AoE, which is just lovely. Absolutely love to see it. At this point, I was like, okay, yeah, we're going to win this. We're going to win this particular battle against Santi. You know, he's a chunky boy, but we've got a full team. And Padme, generally speaking, Queen Amidala, I mean, not Padme, generally speaking, does very, very well against this team regardless. Take care of Cad Bane over there, so he's no longer a threat. Eventually take care of Santi for the first time. He comes back with the revive, no real problems, calling in Padawan Obi-Wan, focusing down on Jabba because I want to see if I can kill him before I get force taunted onto Santi, and we just do such great damage against Jabba. It looks like this is going to be a full banner victory. Love to see it, like super useful team. I really like Queen Amidala. I take her for offense, full banners there, because she counters so much. So right now we've got two teams left. We've got a Jedi Master Mace Windu with an Attacker-Cron, and we've got Gas with a Tank-Cron using the 5's level 9. You know, it can be quite scary. So I go and throw a Support Cron on the Great Mothers here to take out the Jedi Master Mace Windu, forced to go after that Temple Guard at the start, and I put the Blessed on Morgan Elsbeth just because my spirit over there is captured at the moment. So I'm just like, okay, well, I can't really do a whole lot there. And of course, we're just getting blinded all the time, unfortunately, by our attacks out of turn, which I just didn't realize was a thing because I'm a silly little sausage. All the same, we go after the Temple Guard, we try to take him out. We do come a cropper a little bit here because, yeah, they even though we take out this Temple Guard pretty quick, they just mass assist onto the Great Mothers and kill her. I'm like, oh, crap. Well, that's not great. That's not great. That mass assist onto the Great Mothers, not ideal, not really what I wanted to have happen, but hey-ho, what can you do? So I'm focusing on Jocasta Nu because I really don't want her to get that rifle out. I want to see if we can just take care of her, which fortunately we do. Now we go after Ayla, but Ayla is incredibly tanky, truth be told. She's a really tanky individual. Still, we get the mass assist over there, and I think I swapped targets over to Mace rather than focusing on Depper. We might try and get the stun on Depper. Yeah, there we go. So we're just controlling the team right now. Put the damage in where we can. This was a gnarly counter. Like, not safe at all. If we hadn't had that mass assist onto Great Mothers, I feel like we would have done a whole lot better. But she ate it in the shorts right at the start. We still got the clear on this team. 58 banners. Not a perfect score, obviously. And we're just left with this Gas. But I do have Ahsoka. Now, I don't have Ezra with me. So I've got General Syndulla, I've got Hu Yang, I've got Padawan Sabine Wren, and I just throw in a Tank Cron with anything. I'm like, can I throw in somebody else to... We throw in Han Solo. I use Han Solo just to try and get some extra damage on Gas. So he's got like this balance of protection and crit damage, essentially. Put some damage into Gas and it does like nothing, which is absolutely terrifying. Fortunately for us, we do have a GL in our corner. We've managed to get to ult straight away, and we've got ourselves the fracture on Gas, so he's not going to be counterattacking or anything like that. Just try and put some damage in over here. Big hits and just dodge. We're getting blinded on our counterattacks thanks to the 5's level 9, which is really irritating. It's meaning Gas stands up for so much longer than we want him to. They do, of course, get rid of most of our units because Gas is a monster now, guys. He's a monster at the minute. He can be so hard to put down. So hard to put down. So we are relying rather heavily on people like GL Ahsoka Tano right now to carry the damage. And I'm just hoping that we have an opportunity where when Gas sits, we can at least kill some units before it all goes to hell in a handbasket. So I'm like, oh, 5s. He gained so much turn meter, he practically killed himself. That's great. Can we also raise our mastery enough and hopefully take out some units? Great, fantastic. I'm like, okay, great. Even if we lose from this point, I'm confident that we can clear up a solo Gas afterwards. Another ult over there increases his cooldowns. He's got ability blocks, and we're just waiting for Gas to fall now. which I'm pretty confident will be okay. Gas does ramp an obnoxious amount of damage, but we got it there. Really messy, really dirty. But that is our full clear, 1695 to 1382. Let's see how our opponent did. So we did get the win. He was not able to actually clear any more teams, but I'll go over and review, you know, where he dropped. So he dropped one battle against Lord Vader. This was with a support Cron, not an attacker Cron. And he dropped a battle against Jabba with the Cad Bane level 9 as well. He did absolutely fine versus Bad Batch attacker Cron, absolutely fine against Jedi Master Mace Windu attacker Cron. In the south wall, he was fine against my Malgus over here. This is like a tank Cron with 100% health. I was like, oh, well, maybe Malgus does one big yeet. Might be able to take out a unit at the start. Thought it was worth a try. He took 3 battles to take down Pirate King Hondo. This is just a strong team in general. He one-tapped the Leia attacker Cron over here. I'm using Chupio. Chupio in a Leia team right now with the ramping mastery with the attacks out of turn under an attacker Cron does crazy damage. And he dropped a battle actually against my Finn Zori Rose team using the HK Cron. The reason this is a little bit awkward is because Poe over here is going to immediately fear the enemy team, and that should hopefully give you an opportunity to get the ball rolling and deal some good damage. And then on the back wall, he wasn't able to clear through the Rey. 3 battles against my Rey, GK, Barriss, Ezra team. With a Barriss Cron, this one over here has 117% health and bulk, and the healer level 6 and Barriss obviously. So that one did some good work, doing really good holds for us. Then our healer Cron on our Ninth Sister, this is where my Marok was. This stops Phoenix from being able to counter it. This one over here has got 120% crit damage and 166% armor pen with debuffs on the level 3 and the healer level 6 wordy one. That's a bit of a pain in the arse right now as well. And finally, Gas took 6 teams for him to take down the Gas team because that 5's Cron is kind of nasty. I'll show you it over here. We'll have to go into edit defense, I guess. Go down here just to show you the stats on this one. I've gone for 82% crit damage and nearly 80% protection over here. So kind of done an even split more or less on crit damage and protection. I like that protection to be really nice and high. So it's really tricky to take down Gas. He's got the 15% max health protection on the level 3. And the way that I mod mine, he's got a good chunk of protection. So he's got 185,000 protection, and that's before the 15% health and protection that he's got over there. 248 speed, which is not a lot. He's not particularly fast. And then obviously his crit damage is sky high, and his base damage is at 11k right now. So I like him to be not super fast, lots of protection, lots of damage, and it obviously did good work. I don't know if it'll continue to, not sure. But that was a really fun first battle. Messy on both sides, but we got the win in the end. Cool. So let me know, have you had any interactions with these Datacrons that is absolutely unreal, out of this world, kind of crazy? Let me know. Love to hear it. And I'll see you all on the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.